Within this tutorial, we'll now shift to accounts payable and look at what that transaction looks like in the computerized accounting software environment and how the transactions that you are learning in your classroom, the journal entries, the traditional purchase of some sort of service or supply, which triggers a debit potentially to an asset or an expense and a credit to accounts payable. In reality, when you are engaging with a vendor and you're buying software or services or any other type of product, you won't input that as a journal entry within your system. What you will do, again looking at this example of a computerized accounting system, you're going to look for the module for expenses, and that will bring us to this page. And what we'll do is we'll enter a new transaction. We're going to have a bill. So we'll likely have been printed a receipt for our own records. It'll be emailed to us, it'll be printed for us if we went on site to go make the purchase. So what we'll then do is come back to our desk and we'll open up our system and we'll take the information from that bill that we've received and we'll have to enter it in the system. So I will just pick on this one. The bill that we have received will tell us what our terms are, so we'll have to enter that ourselves. Again, the computerized system is going to populate the dates for us, so you either have to go with the date that is on the invoice, or if it happened today, then it'll be automatically correct. Then you need to enter the details of the bill. So we'll look for, let's say that we paid for some advertising services, and we'll say March advertising, and we'll put in an amount of $2,000. Again, sales tax reporting is a very important part of the accounting and the bookkeeping functions. And we have to make sure that we have a clear understanding of the need to put that information within our system, because we're going to have to remit it to the government. And these wonderful computerized accounting systems have that reporting set up for us. What our role really then becomes is ensuring that we understand if there's HST or GST that applies to whatever it is that we're buying from our vendor or not. So in this case, we're going to say yes, this service is taxable. We select the HST. We don't have to worry about any of the other fields, and we go down and take a look, and the system does the calculations for us. It sets it all up for us. So again, we know that the value of the advertising was $2,000. We know that the HST is $260 for a grand total of $2,260. And when you're looking at an entry like this, here's your debit to advertising expense. Here is your debit to GST or HST paid on services. And here is your credit to accounts payable. And this is really why it's a wonderful value for you to see how it actually works in the field compared to the way you're taught within the classroom. What you're learning are the fundamentals, the debits and the credits and the classification of the assets and how they roll up into the trial balance. And then from there, we take each component, whether they belong to the balance sheet or the income statement, and we populate it and we make sure we balance. This is what you're learning. But in reality, when you're out in the field, this system is doing all of that part for you. So your value really then becomes in being able to ensure that it's been posted correctly. So the training that you're learning in the classroom is so that you can confirm the work that's being done. So if we take a look, we've got this bill ready to get posted. So we have $2,260, total $2,260. We're going to hit save, and that's what's going to post it to our books. And the next thing that we're going to do now is confirm. So what we would expect to see is that our accounts payable balance has gone up by $2,260, and that if we look at our vendor accounts payables, that we should see a $2,260 increase in amount for bank of any city. So we'll close this module and we'll go over to our reports. And then we'll scroll downwards until we find our vendors or expenses. So we could take a look at something like the accounts payable aging. And what we hope to see is, there we have it, March 31st, a bill for Bank of any city, $2,260. So what we know is that this bill that we've posted has been posted correctly because we have an increase in our accounts payable. We can click on it and it will take us back to our bill. So what you can also see is the ease that we actually have when we get to use the computerized accounting software. All of these screens are built together so that you can just click your way through the information, which makes it so much easier than we used to do it before, where everything was on paper and perhaps in Excel and maybe perhaps in computerized software. Everything now is really here at your fingertips. If you wanted, you could, if we look down here at the left, you could attach any information that you may have received. You can scan a copy of the bill and attach it to this entry, which makes it so much better for audit purposes or to confirm if you're the one checking somebody else's work. It's a great way to make sure that the work has been done. And if you have already started talking about internal controls within your classroom, this is a wonderful example of a process that you can build and say, whenever an associate is entering a bill, our control is that you must attach a copy of the bill to the posting. And that's a great way to ensure that someone can go in there and then check on the work and know that the postings are correct. What else we can check is, if we go back to our report list, we can take a look at our balance sheet and we can drop down to our accounts payable and we can open this up by clicking, and here we can see that we had a beginning balance of $734, and we'll see the exact transaction that we just posted for $2,260, which increased our balance to $2,994. So really, it's really just to demonstrate exactly how a transaction, as you've seen it so far in the classroom, happens in the actual workplace. And this is a great demonstration of what that would look like. It's a bill, an invoice, and then it's going back through, taking a look at the reports that are available to you to confirm that they've been done correctly. Your skills in an internship or a co-op or your first job is going to be more of this posting within these systems than it will be actual typing of journal entries. So this is just a great visibility for you guys to gain, to really understand the difference between bookkeeping or accounting in the textbook versus bookkeeping and accounting on the job. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick demonstration and look forward to the next one.